The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for world leaders to exercise maximum restraint after General Soleimani's death. He says the world cannot afford another war in the region. His warning comes as the Syrian government pushes on with its offensive against rebel-held territory in Idlib province. More than 280,000 people have been displaced in the past month alone. The Syrian regime has been advancing into the province in stages, pushing up from the south in what appears to be an effort to capture strategic motorways. Residents are fleeing north to the border with Turkey and other parts of northern Syria. Barbara Plett-Usher reports.
The bombs have been falling relentlessly. This is a particularly brutal offensive in Syria's long war. Regime forces backed by Russia are pounding the last stronghold of the armed opposition. They insist they're targeting Islamist extremists who lead the rebels, but making no effort to spare civilians. Striking homes, hospitals, markets, women, children. 9-year-old Fatima survived the bombing of her home. So did her 11-year-old sister Islam, who was also trapped in the rubble. Rescue workers tried to free her leg, but a secondary explosion sent them ducking for cover. Eventually, they pulled her to safety. The girl's mother died in the attack. A new tide of people has fled the government's advance, emptying towns and villages in southern Idlib. Many had already been uprooted by fighting in other parts of Syria. For some, this is the 5th, even 10th time on the road. And it's the worst time of year, especially for those who haven't found refuge with relatives. Camps near Syria's border with Turkey are overcrowded, already filled by those displaced from previous regime attacks in Idlib. Conditions were bad and will probably get worse.
We became homeless. We left with the clothes on our back. We can't do anything. We have no money, no heating. We have nothing.
Across the border, Turkey used to be a refuge for Syria's homeless, but it says it can't afford to take any more. Abdulkader Lahaip arrived in Istanbul more than 3 years ago. He works for an opposition radio station, broadcasting into rebel-held areas. His family was among those who fled the intensive bombing. They've found a safe place for now in northern Syria. When do you think you're going to see your family again? Never? Not for at least 10 years, he says. There certainly won't be a quick end to the misery, because the Syrian regime has vowed not to stop until it retakes the entire rebel province. Barbara Plett-Usher, BBC News, Istanbul.